So a couple of weeks ago, I made a video talking about how you can make money working from home online. And in that video, I talked about UserTesting.com. And after that video, I actually started using UserTesting.com to see how much extra money I could make on the side. And it's been a month now, and in total, I've made nearly $400, which I think for a side hustle where you can incorporate it into your day-to-day life from home is actually really great. So in this video, we're gonna do a full review of the UserTesting.com. I'll start off with providing an overview of what UserTesting.com is all about. I'll then go over the sign-up process from start to finish, and then talk about who UserTesting.com is for and who's best suited to use the platform. I'll then go over the type of tests that you can expect to take, and then how much money you can realistically make from the platform. And then finally, I'll also give you some extra tips on how you can succeed on the platform. So let's get straight into the video. So what is UserTesting.com? It's essentially a platform that connects companies from around the world with people like yourself and I to test products that they are currently developing in order to get real world feedback. And if you're wondering why companies are doing so, it's because as customers, our expectations for the products and services that we consume are ever increasing. Just think through every iteration of the iPhone that there's been, from updating the design of the phone to having a better camera. I'm sure along the way, Apple has engaged with customers and incorporated their feedback into their phones. If companies aren't developing products or services with their customers in mind, then they're doomed to fail. So as a tester for UserTesting.com, you'll essentially be providing your feedback and thoughts back to these companies. It could be anything from a website that they're designing, or an application, or even a prototype as well. So let's talk about the sign-up process. It's simple enough and only has 3 steps. You first have to sign up to UserTesting.com using your email address, and once you've completed that, go and open the email that you would have received to complete the application. Next, you'll need to take a short test, which should take around 10 minutes. The test will involve completing a series of tasks, navigating through a website, whilst also speaking your thoughts out loud. For the test, you'll need a computer and a microphone where they'll be recording your voice and your screen as you navigate through the website. Once you've completed the application, it usually takes the user testing team a few days to review your application. Personally though, it took them 6 days to review and approve my application, so take that into consideration. Once you've been accepted into the platform, you'll need to take a series of tutorials on how to get started using UserTesting.com, which took me approximately 30 minutes to complete. And after that, you can begin taking tests that come up on your dashboard. Now, let's talk about who UserTesting.com is best for and who should be using it. Whilst I think it is a great side hustle, it definitely isn't for everyone. Firstly, if you don't have a computer, a laptop, or a microphone, then this probably immediately rules you out. Secondly, if you're not someone who spends a lot of time on their computer or laptop, then it's probably not going to be the best for you either. Whilst you can still do it, it's just that the amount of money that you can feasibly make is going to be less. And that's because you need to be logged on to the user testing platform, either on your computer or your laptop, to actually take tests. Tests will pop up randomly throughout the day. There isn't really a set time when they release tests to their users. It could be 8 AM in the morning or 12 o'clock at midnight for you. And before you're even eligible to take the test, you need to take what they call a screener, which is essentially a series of questions that they ask you to determine if you are eligible to take the test. Companies are oftentimes looking for a specific demographic of people to test their products or services on. So if you don't fit into that specific demographic, then you won't be eligible to take that test. To give you some context, I pretty much always have either my work laptop or my personal computer on pretty much all day when I am at home. I'll take screeners as they pop up onto my dashboard, and I'd say the success rate of actually being eligible for a test is probably less than 10%. And lastly, if you're someone where speaking your mind out openly doesn't really come that naturally for you, or if you're really not that comfortable having your face recorded or speaking to a total stranger on the internet, then this side hustle might not be for you either. So now let's talk about the type of tests that you can expect to do on the user testing platform. Broadly speaking, there are two types of tests that you can do. The first one is an unmoderated test, where essentially you're shown the product or prototype and have to complete a series of tasks. Tasks could be anything from interacting from the prototype or asking you a series of questions on certain aspects of that prototype. These are the most common type of tests that you can expect to do on the user testing platform, and they can either be done on the mobile or a computer. Sometimes these tests will ask to have your face recorded whilst you do the test as well. Unmoderated tests typically pay out $10 per test, and they usually take around 10 to 15 minutes to complete. From personal experience, I'd say the time duration to actually complete these tests is pretty accurate, although sometimes I have completed tests that really only took me 5 minutes, or on the other hand, took me up to 30 minutes to complete. The second type of test that you can do on the user testing platform is what they call a moderated test, which is essentially a live conversation with someone in the company. They'll be showing you the product or the service that they're working on, whilst also asking you questions. So you can think of these as kind of like a live interview. Like the unmoderated tests, these can either be done on your laptop or your mobile phone, and the calls will be done via Zoom. Moderated tests can either be 30, 60, or 90 minutes long. If you're successful, you'll typically schedule in a time to have the conversation with that company, and 30-minute sessions pay $30, 60-minute sessions pay $60, and 90-minute sessions pay $90. Personally, I've done several 30-minute moderated sessions so far, but I haven't been successful in securing a 60-minute session. In my 1 month of using the platform, I've only seen a 90-minute session pop up once, so they are on the rarer side. Once you've completed the test, regardless of whether or not it's moderated or unmoderated, you'll be paid into your PayPal account 7 days after. Now, in terms of how much you can realistically expect to make on the user testing platform, I can't really give you a definitive answer because this really varies from person to person based on a variety of factors. Just because I was able to make nearly $400 this month doesn't mean you will be able to make the same, and doesn't even mean I'll be able to make the same next month either. So I don't want to set unrealistic expectations only for you to be disappointed down the track. However, reading through online forums such as Reddit, I don't think it's unrealistic to make around $50 per week. I've even seen posts of people making over $500 in a week's time, which is pretty insane and just shows you the vast variation in how much you can earn on the platform. And finally, some quick tips on how to help you succeed on the user testing platform. The first one is that as a tester, you'll be given a rating, and the higher the rating, the more tests that you'll receive on your dashboard. Whilst most of the time your tests won't be rated, you never know when it will be, so it may sound obvious, but make sure you do put some effort into the tests that you do, completing all the tasks required whilst also speaking out loud. If your rating does fall, you'll see significantly less tests pop up on your dashboard. For one of my earlier tests that I did, I got rated 3 out of 5, and I noticed significantly less tests popping up onto my dashboard after. Luckily, I've since been able to bring my rating back up with a few 5-star ratings. The second tip that I have for you is that whilst you can request to get rated for the test that you complete, and it can be tempting to request a rating to get your ranking up, it's recommended to actually not do so. It's believed that this is more likely to backfire on you than to receive a 5-star rating. User testing has actually even specified this in their emails to their testers to actually not request ratings. And finally, my last tip for you is that if you don't want to have your computer or your laptop open all day, you can also check for tests that pop up on your user testing app on your mobile phone. And that's all the tips that I have for you guys. Overall, I think UserTesting.com is a great side hustle to do, especially while some of us are in lockdown right now. It's a great way to earn a few extra $100 each and every month. Hopefully you found this useful, and if you have, make sure you hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.